Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Mother Panic issue 1. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 169, I believe we're up to, and that show will review all the comic books I read this week in one show, and the exclusive comics are in the description below. And of course, the episode will be annotated and posted on Friday. But let's start talking about this comic, which is Mother Panic issue 1, which is part of DC Comics and the Young Animals line. So, I guess a little background on Young Animals. I've read all the issue 1s for Young Animals. So I've read the first issue, Doom Patrol. Wasn't my thing, didn't really like it, thought it was a little weird. I read both issues of Shade, the Changing Girl. I bought the first issue in print and then I've been reading it digitally. We'll see where that goes. And the one Young Animal book I actually really like is Cave, it's a very long title. Cave Carson with the cybernetic guy. I don't know the full name. Cave Carson. I actually really did like that book, and out of all the Young Animals books, I enjoyed that one the most. So let's see if I enjoyed Mother Panic. So will Mother Panic be more like Doom Patrol and Shade, the Changing Girl for me, or will it be more like Cave Carson? So let's start talking about it. So I did read this digitally, and what is this story about? So it's about this girl. We get to see a little bit of her past, but she's a privileged girl. She has a lot of money. She's kind of like a Bruce Wayne version of a character. And we see that she has a lot of family problems, like her mother has a mental disability, and that's something that has changed her life and changed her view of life. So we see that even as she gets older, she still talks to her mom, and I guess is still influenced by her mom, even though she does have this mental disability. So that's a big part of the story. And then for some reason she's a vigilante, I guess. She is, again, a popular person. Like, she's a socialite. People know who she is. And that's pretty much the story. So what did I think of the issue overall? Talking about the artwork, I wasn't a big fan of the art style. I thought it was very dark. And I know it's a book based in Gotham, but it was a little bit too dark for me. I couldn't get into the story because of it, and that actually made me have a hard time to connect with the character, because I felt like I couldn't really see the scenes that well, or again, dive into the story. And then character-wise, story-wise, is another thing that I feel like worked really well on paper, like the idea did, but just wasn't executed well here. It was really hard to connect to the character, because she is a new character. I do love the idea of, her parents and her mom having a mental disability. I thought that was really cool, especially because Batman in general has so much to do with psychology and the mental state. So I thought that was really interesting, but it still wasn't executed very well because I didn't really care about our main character or the characters surrounding her. It was just really hard to attach to her, and a lot of the plot things I learned was because I read the plot summary, and also because they were only really touched upon in the book. Like, you could figure out she's a socialite because people wanted to take pictures of her, but it wasn't really stated that much in the book. And then she's a vigilante because we saw that she was a vigilante, but we don't really know why she's a vigilante. So a lot of things just touched upon that needed to be delved into a little bit more with this first issue to have the reader hooked for the next. And that's the sad part about this book. I think it did have potential, but it just wasn't really executed well, in my opinion. So I gave this book actually 2 stars. Again, I just didn't really like the artwork or the story, even though I do think the story had potential. I don't think I'll be picking up the next issue, and again, that's mostly because of the artwork, because like I said, the story does have a little bit of potential, but I wasn't hooked enough to get the second issue. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, though. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.